Every single metric when it comes to Bitcoin in 2019 looks like this. Every single metric, whether we're talking about adoption, technical development, liquidity, decentralization, interest. Go ahead, name a metric. Every single metric is trending up. Many of these metrics, actually an amazing amount of these metrics, are actually at all-time highs. Now, in the same breath, in the same world, at the same time, the Fed injecting billions of dollars into the U.S. economy, and it's not just a U.S. problem. Argentina is set to increase inflation by 5%. It seems like countries all over the world, they're in a race. Who can devalue their own currency first? And then, if we place this back into cryptocurrency, over the last couple years, we have seen institution after institution, private business after private business, they're all building on-ramps for you to buy cryptocurrency, for people to buy cryptocurrency. At the same time, awareness, education has never been higher. Bitcoin, it's regularly talked about as an investment on CNBC and other financial channels, on late night TV. It's talked about in the media everywhere now. Celebrities, athletes, notable figures all over are talking about, tweeting about Bitcoin. And yet, the price of Bitcoin is still only $10,000. Guys, it's not going to be like this forever. Realize what is happening. Realize the unique times we are living in. If you can even try to accumulate one Bitcoin, if you can even accumulate one, I would consider it. For me personally, that's the name of the game. I need to accumulate one Bitcoin, or maybe one more, Well, let's get to some recent news. This news today, don't take it for granted. Realize that the world isn't going to be expanding with Bitcoin growth forever. The news 5 years from now, although I expect Bitcoin to be doing rather well, news like this doesn't last forever, and it's unique to the times we're living in. Anyways, let's jump right to it. Let's start with this one. You probably heard all 7-Eleven stores across the Philippines now sell Bitcoin. So a story like this by itself, maybe not a huge deal, but we've been seeing stories like this, seems like for the past 2 years straight. So let's get into some details. So the cryptocurrency investment app Abra partnered with the payment processor ECPay, and they're going to bring crypto to 6,000 retail outlets across the Philippines, including every single 7-Eleven store. The company says that the aim of the partnership is to make acquiring crypto easier. So yeah, you, me, most people actually aren't going to buy cryptocurrency from a 7-Eleven. But the fact is, 7-Eleven is synonymous with people's lives all over the world. It's like, it's global. It's like Starbucks. It's like McDonald's. And just the fact that people can walk into 7-Eleven, every single one across the Philippines, they're going to see, Bitcoin sold here. And what if 7-Eleven wants to roll this out in other countries? What if one day Bitcoin is available in every single 7-Eleven in the USA? That is the future, I think we can agree is a strong possibility at this point. Next story, Square Crypto hires Lightning Libra developers for the Bitcoin Dream Team. So we'll just read the first sentence here. Square Crypto, the division of the publicly traded payments company that focuses exclusively on Bitcoin, just announced 3 new hires to work on open source projects. So keep in mind, there's big companies like Facebook and Libra that are trying to create their own. They just have a white paper thus far. And then there's companies that realize that the internet only has one native currency, and that's Bitcoin. And Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of Square Cash App and also Twitter, has a team of people who are developing and integrating Bitcoin for his 2 companies. So this one's specifically for Square, but he has mentioned before he wants to integrate it into Twitter as well. Next story. The Iranian government proposes an annual license for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency miners. So I want you to take away that Iran is bullish on cryptocurrency. So this license they proposed will need to be renewed every year. The Iranian mining industry has grown dramatically over the last 2 years, thanks in part to the state-subsidized electricity. For example, just one Persian Telegram group for local miners has 3,424 members in it. Based on a survey of more than 1,600 Iranian crypto users, so 1,600 Iranian crypto users participated in this, 35% of respondents earned income from mining and 70% were interested in learning more about the local mining business. One anonymous source, this is interesting, one anonymous source told CoinDesk that most miners are known to be doing it under the radar and import under the radar and import equipment through the black market without paying taxes. So there are even people who mine in Iran who keep it under the radar. So hey, if the US bans it, if China bans it, there are countries ready to step up. Let's get to a little altcoin news. So if there's any fans of Digibyte out there, or maybe some people know of the exchange Binance, this story is for you. So the leading cryptocurrency exchange Binance has come under fire recently from the members of the Digibyte coin community following a revelation by the project's founder Jared Tate that he had tried to get the cryptocurrency listed on the popular trading exchange. And that's the case. So this is actually what the founder Jared Tate tweeted out. He said, did a video call with Binance team a few weeks ago. They wanted $300,000 and 3% of all, they wanted $300,000 plus 3% of all Digibyte for insurance for their customers against blockchain hacks and defects to list Digibyte. Told them that this is not possible with a truly decentralized blockchain like Digibyte. I actually like this a lot. I enjoy reporting on Digibyte. I currently don't own any, but I mean, this really shows what a racket that Binance is pulling. So keep that in mind. You know, Binance is one of the best for now, but maybe they're getting a bit too big for their britches. Hey, by the way, guys, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. If you're getting value in this video, make sure you give it a like. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe for daily videos. That's kind of what we do here. I also want to recommend a Twitter poll that we put out. Link is in the description. Bitcoin's halving is 8 months away. That actually seems like a long time. What do you think the chances are that Bitcoin surpasses $20,000 at or before the halving? So head on over to our Twitter, participate in this poll. We only have 1 day left, and so far 180 people have voted. But let's get to one of the final stories. CME Group is launching Bitcoin options early 2020. So I'm curious to know what you think about this. So the derivatives marketplace, CME Group, has announced that it will offer options on its Bitcoin futures contracts starting in the first quarter of next year. The Chicago-based company first launched its futures product back in December of 2017. You remember, right after the market tanked. At the same time as its Windy City rival, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, the CBOE. So a lot of people think that the market tanked because back in the day, that's when futures products were allowed to happen. I mean, I actually think that might be a small part of it, but I mean, just the market was overbought. I mean, it was exhausted. There were no buyers left pretty much. Anyways, let's get to the quote. Based on an increasing client demand and robust growth in our Bitcoin futures market, we believe the launch of options will provide our clients with additional flexibility to trade and hedge their Bitcoin price risk. These new products are designed to help institutions and professional traders to manage spot market Bitcoin exposure as well as hedge Bitcoin futures positions in a regulated exchange environment. And regardless how you feel about this one particular thing, realize where the world is heading, and that's more online and into cryptocurrencies. And then the final story of today, just more of a note, apparently there was a little study done showing that Bitcoin and Ethereum enjoyed the highest demand compared to all other cryptocurrencies. And one of the major factors is that the fees for Bitcoin and Ethereum on exchanges were equaling a lot more than the fees for all these other coins. Now you could say, oh, well, Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe you think they have high fees. Well, the fact is, those are the ones people are transacting, and those are the fees that the exchanges are accumulating. And Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment are two of the most popular. I mean, you can even see that the fees for everything else is far more significant. And once again, it's just, fees aren't everything, especially, indicating that they're the most popular, but it's just an interesting thing to keep note of. All right, I guess finally, I just wanted to show you a comparison. We are the blue line right here. This is the Bitcoin market recovery compared to every other cycle. So the green is the prior 2015, 16, 17 cycle. The red is the first cycle in 2011 to 2013. And yeah, you can see the blue one is right here. That's us. So just a little interesting. We're kind of mirroring the early cycle rather than the prior cycle in 2015-16. Obviously, this cycle is going to be unique and different in its own way, and we're going to love it because it seems to me, with Bitcoin right now dipping below $10,000, Oh, look at that. Look at that. To me, that's a buying opportunity. To me, Bitcoin has gone on sale because when you ask the question, is Bitcoin going to be above or below $10,000 by the end of the year? I gotta think it's going to be above. When you ask me, is Bitcoin going to be close, at least close to all-time highs by the halving of next year? I would think it is. So got a little sale going on, my friends. It's going to be a great year. My name's Aaron. I'll see you tomorrow.